Good morning, beautiful people, man. How you doing today? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're 5 by 5.
For sure, for sure. That's what's up, man. Good morning.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, it's one of them days still, you know what I
Mm,
mean? Still a little salty, you know.
yeah.
How you feeling, man? What's going on with you?
I'm I'm cool, man. I was on some of the chats last night. They already calling from me. But you know what was beautiful? Dan the man, shout out Laugh Sports and Chill. He started listing off people. He would say, yeah, Debo Samuels. He ain't had that many yards. George Kittle, you ain't had that many yards. So and so, they ain't had them. And he said, "Where's Terradome? Where's Terradome?" And then he went in on Kyle. So I was like, man, maybe it's a compliment to be mentioned with them. He's a
Hey,
Rams fan, and he said, "Yeah, it's that dad going, it's that dad going. Debo is that Kittle, and it's that Terradome." So I
hey,
was like,
you're an honorary member today or
yeah,
last night, huh?
I'm mentioning that. So that was dope.
Oh man. It's a lot. It's a lot, man. Especially like a couple days afterwards. There's certain things I don't like that I'm seeing, but it's to be expected, you know. Um, it just sucks, you know. And I know some people talking about like the emotions are going to come though. Let's be real. If you're a real fan, you invested a lot of time, you know, just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Just watching the sport, man. You love the sport. Anything that you love, if something happens to it, you're going to feel a certain type of way. I mean, that's natural. That's your natural human emotion. So, to be void of emotions, to me, I think, you know, okay, that's your fandom may be a little bit different than others, but for those of you who consume the sport as much as we do, or I love football. Not only do I love the 49ers, but I just love the sport in general, man. And so when you know that it's the end of football season, and then also, you know, a team like your own who's able to get all the way up to the mountaintop
Yeah.
once again, and to see that there's a failure as far as not finishing the race, it kind of hurts, especially when what you were just talking about earlier, when you have self-inflicted wounds. And I believe we discussed this. I know I tried to warn us as fans because these are things that happen throughout the year that we pacified because
Mm.
we were winning. Because every time you talked about a deficiency against a good team, most people bring up our good record and these wonderful stats that we have. But you know one thing, when you play against the upper echelon teams, when you play against the creme de la creme, when you play against the boys who got them boys, that's when it comes to bite you. So next year, when y'all get mad at people for bringing up some of these issues that you may see as minor, or you look over because we win, because we just have a lot of talent on our team, this is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
This is why they bring it up. This is why these things are emphasized, even in victories. Because when it comes to playing against a guy like that over there, number 1-5, with a head coach over there like Andy Reid, with a mind and a wizardry of a guy like the one and only Steve Spagnuolo,
Oh,
this is when it comes up and this is when it matters, people. And so there's so much you can talk about this, man. But I'm just gonna start with the head. Hey,
speak it.
your leadership is in question. And that doesn't mean I'm calling you to be fired, but we have to be honest with ourselves and say, you go to church. What they say in the good book, you need to come up higher.
Yes, it's a high
You have
calling.
to come up higher. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing to have knowledge, but there's another thing to have wisdom. Wisdom is
Wisdom.
the application of the
Wisdom.
knowledge that you have.
Applied
What?
knowledge. Yes.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
must become a Berean when it comes to this national football because that's your job. That's your
Mm.
title as what? The head
T-
coach.
tell him again. A Berean. Say that
A
one more time.
Berean, Acts chapter 16 through 24, it tells you about the people who
The,
study and to show themselves
to
approved
see if these things were true. But
as fine
you
treasures.
don't
See
preach.
what
You
I'm
don't
saying?
preach. No, no, no. Hold on. Stop right
See,
there. Stop right there. That's Acts 17:10. Who? You're a minister. Don't
shit.
nobody else know that. Don't nobody else know that but men of God.
Just know your boy
What,
Twin is well versed as a
where
young boy.
you
That's all
where
I
you
gotta say.
no twin? Don't nobody else know that. No, no, you done been under some training. You done been under some training. Who
You said, hold on, wait, hold on. You trying to
no,
say I've been
no,
under some tutors and
we gonna
governors?
stop right there. Somebody been sandbagging. You done had, you got five spades. Somebody been reneging now. When you go into the Bereans, come on, twin. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You've been holding out. who, who is it? Who is
Hey,
it? Who,
I'm just saying, man. We just gotta be better. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
he
You
won't
know.
say it, ladies and gentlemen. That is extensive upper echelon ministerial training. He ain't letting it go. I get it. Because you don't want to
Hey,
you want to be able to do your things.
we never know who we may be talking to. Sometimes we may
Yeah,
be entertaining angels. Let me stop. Let me quit playing with you. You all right?
this guy, he done told on himself right there. See, I'm like Bill Duke in in Minister Society. Oh, you know you done told me something there. You know you done messed up right there, right? You know I'm holding you to a different standard.
Man, don't you?
My son's in the chat, DeAndre. See, DeAndre, hey, when that anointing on you, you held to a little different standard. You
Hey,
held to a different. You can't cut the food like you want.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. You know, so hey, at this point in time, let's be real though, man. We're no longer on this baby food. We're no longer on milk. Man, this guy been on meat for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we should have been better. We should have a better understanding of what we was going to do against this team. Like, there's nothing nobody can tell me about what we was presenting with that we should not right now be still celebrating the victory. It's the simple dumb stuff that we did to lose this game. And even then, we still had another opportunity and then another opportunity to go out here and seal the deal. And we just didn't take advantage of it, man. And so, man, I'm not going, like I said, this is so layered. So, I mean, you're the moderator. I mean, this is your show, man. I'm going to
Bro,
feed off.
I'm here for you. I mean, I'm giving the mic to you, man. I want to hear from my people. My people.
Well,
I hear from the haters. I hear from Nick Wright and Dan of the Los Angeles, St. Louis, Cleveland, whatever Rams they is. Everybody, it's 30 opinions out there, and they couldn't wait for one time for the 49ers to go down. I hear from them. I won't hear from my people. This is my family here.
This didn't start on Sunday. This started weeks ago. This started weeks ago in the Ravens game. It started before the Ravens game as well. But when we started to come out and change our philosophy towards the end of the season, we started coming out of games, passing the ball consistently in the first half on first downs. We started to become redundant in our schemes and what it is that we did as far as on the offense end. And even though the defense was acting up, not playing where they needed to play, you had enough people on the other side to sit there and get the job done, but you was hard-headed. We seen that in the Ravens game. We was like, hey, we might need to adjust. But then we beat the team in Washington the next week. Everybody forgot about it, saying we got on the right road. We had a break, came back 2 weeks later, we played bad. We don't want to talk about it, but that first half against the Green Bay Packers, I believe it was who we played. We played bad football. We was 2 weeks off, and we had another bad first half of football. So you're telling me you had 2 weeks off to prepare. You had 2 weeks off to get your bodies healthy, and you came out there and you laid an egg. But thank God we flipped it around, and we won by the hair by chin and chin and chin. We had the perfect big old exclamation mark to say, watch out with the Dallas Cowboys and what happened to those guys. That game plan that they had should have been the game plan we used Sunday, actually, if we want to be honest. But we chose not to. Came back out there against Detroit, did the same thing. Dang near lost another game in the first half, playing bad ball once again. Then we came back and started again, did the same thing. This is 3 weeks in a row, my people.
Yeah. The
A
trend,
veteran team
the trend was
trending,
down. The trend was down.
trending down. And we didn't want to what? Adjust. You see what I'm saying? And so when
Yeah.
we look at the things that are these are glaring weaknesses, but we try and say, oh well, we won. That's fine, but we're not playing to the potential of what it is that we could do. When you are a leader, you have to rise the people who are following you. You have to bring them along with you because you can see that there's something not going on right. And this is probably why we're hearing some things in the locker room right now. Because see, this certain things probably was already bubbling. But because of just sheer talent alone, they was holding tight together. But see, right now we're starting to see some of the things that was going on in the back room that they helped together far as the media, but it's starting to come out now. It's starting to come out in the rings.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And
And
let me pause for the calls real quick because I want to acknowledge the chat and things of that nature. 49er Monday is bringing up. I thought we had them when I saw him push Andy Reid. He's probably talking about Travis Kelce or Travis Swifty like that. He was to my wife, and right after my wife said, "Yeah, he did," or Red Shell says, "Everyone did." Bashar, yeah. Do you ever, 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 forever, ever remember seeing a player push a head coach or a coach like that in a game in front of Jesus and everybody?
hey, you know what I have seen?
What?
I've seen Tom Brady take a doggone Microsoft pad and lunch it on the floor. I see him throw his helmet down. You know what I see though? See, when you want it bad enough, there's something inside of you that you can't contain. Talking about, look, I want this.
Yeah.
He went over here to his head coach. He said, Coach, my approach may be bad right now in the moment, but know what this means? This is relationship, people. For those who haven't been in a relationship, Andy know my heart. See, Andy know my heart. He may see what I did outwardly, but he know where that comes from. He know that I have a burning desire to be what? Great. He know that this team has a opportunity to do something that hasn't been done, which is to be great. So sometimes you got to do something to let my people know. I will be the sacrificial lamb. Talk about me. Tell me what I'm doing is wrong. But my teammates go see that the leader of this team is telling y'all we need to get this thing together.
Yes. Yes. A leader. You got that C on your chest. Hey man, this is that time. Hey, don't BS me with no whole bunch of stuff. I gotta come in. And I understand Kelce's I understood his frustration, and I had seen that before with great superstars who played for the San Francisco 49ers, but they get painted one way while other people can get painted another. But it came from the same place. Greg Knapp in Atlanta, Terrell Owens, for y'all that haven't figured out the puzzle. Circle gets a square. But he's a cancer. He's got to wait to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame when he knows, God daggone well, give me that daggone ball, man. I can
be
beat
a
these.
game changer.
I'm open.
And look, feed me.
Feed me. I will beat this team.
And you
I
know
will
what that
beat him.
told Andy Reid? It told Andy Reid, whatever that I'm doing, because we know that defense played superb, had them flustered, had them guys sitting in here thinking, what's going on? But you know what Andy Reid said? Hold up, wait. Okay, let's think about this. Let's get this thing together. Let's adjust. Let's
Yeah.
Let's figure out something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Andy looking at that score saying, as bad as we playing, as mad as my guy is, these guys ain't taking advantage of what happened.
No, we ain't but 7 points down. Yeah, look at that. 7 points. 7 points is 6 seconds, y'all. It's one play. It's a pick six. It's a busted coverage. It's a fumble recovery. It's a scoop and score. 7 points is nothing. When you got opportunities and you down there in that red zone, boy, better be walking away with them threes. You better put a little pressure. Don't really start till you 21 down with 10 minutes left.
Exactly. And so when you don't have a mentality of urgency, and that's what I felt again, we got to realize when we run the ball. Somebody told me, well, Christian had 30 touches or something like that. I said, man, watch the game. He got 8 to 6 catches in overtime. But during the game, he only had 16 carries for 3.6 yards per rush. Last time I checked, 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9.
Yep.
And you add up the other yardage on the decimal, to me, I think that's a first down. I'm just saying. I think it's a first down. Right?
Yes, sir.
But also, we got to realize this. What you do in the first half sets you up for the second half. I'm telling you guys, if you ran that ball, instead of being on first down and you're not even giving the threat of a run because you're in shotgun, you're not milking the time, you're not creating a physical mentality on the trenches by passing the ball because they've seen this is a tendency of ours. Who cares if they know you're finna run the ball? Because in the third and fourth quarters, you know what will happen to that team? That team will break. You know how I know that? I've seen us do this. I've seen us take that ball out of coming in the third quarter and run the ball 12 times straight. I've seen us do this. I've seen Kyle Juszczyk tell Kyle Shanahan at halftime, cut the pretty stuff. Let's do what we know what to do. I've seen George Kittle go over here after games multiple times say, we need to run this outside zone. We need to do what got us. I've heard his players say that. This is not Twin talking.
And bruh, and it's football. It's football. And we're going to talk a little bit about philosophy versus perception. Look, I've watched this game, and I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater one bit. I am a football, I don't want to say savant, but I'm a football man is what we call it. He's just a football man. So I don't look at other teams in terms of, well, I hate them. I won't do anything that they do. I look for excellence and superbness because the principle, if you ever get a loan, the principle is what matters, not your interest. The principle matters. And I will hearken y'all to the 90s Dallas Cowboys, which they got from the 80s Washington Redskins when they were the Redskins. You ever notice that they will keep committing to the run and folding you up, and right at the end of the third quarter, going to the fourth, Emmitt Smith would break one.
19 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. I mean, 19 something like that. 19 touchdowns in the playoff.
John Riggins would break one. The Raiders, Marcus Allen would break one. It's because they pounded on a rock, a boulder, and they just kept pounding, and they just kept pounding, and they just kept pounding. It didn't look like much as it's happening. You're like, oh, he ain't get for 3 yards. Oh, he ain't get for 2 yards. Oh, he ain't get for 4 yards. They just running it and running it down. Do something different. No, it ain't just because you can't do anything else. It's because that's how you pound and split a rock. It takes a continuous pounding, and then that thing opens up, because when you continuously pound on a man, eventually he breaks. It's just like
what you gonna break though? His what?
You're gonna break his will. You're gonna break his soul. You just defeat him. And plus, with that run, you taking time off the clock, which limits the opportunity of very dangerous men. Nobody in the history of football, I promise you, can create and hurt you from the sidelines. Patrick Mahomes, he is great as he can. I got the 100% pure, unadulterated, unfiltered, unmitigated way of stopping Patrick Mahomes. You know what he do? Park his ass on the sideline. He cannot commit a big play. He can't do it. It's impossible. When you find, if y'all can pull up some footage of him completing passes on the sideline, please let me know. And speaking of wonderful, I gotta add her right now. Red Jet Shell is in the business.
Hey, good morning.
Oh man, I knocked over my
How y'all
my
feeling
air
this
horn.
morning? Hi. Let me open this thing up so I
Hey,
can see my.
Shell.
Hi, good morning. How's everybody doing?
Oh, we're doing well, Shell.
Oh, you guys can't see it too bad. Or maybe you can. See Oakland?
Well,
That's Oakland. See it?
Oaktown.
Oaktown. See it?
They
Can you
should
guys
have
see it? That's Oakland.
next Super Bowl. We're gonna have Oaktown 357. Come
You
on,
sound like my mother. She says Oaktown 357.
Oaktown 357 was nice. I can't lie. Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
It was
Everybody
Hammers
okay?
dancers.
Y'all good?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God. No, I just obviously I'm at work, but just want to say hey, hope everybody's doing well. I know it sucks, you know what I'm saying? We should have had it, we could have had it, we would have had it. At the end of the day, oh my God, I just can't stop looking at Twins beard. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But it's
yeah.
yes.
I
but
got a
it's
little something, man. He
you
told me.
know, you
He told me
gotta
put.
work on
He
it.
told me. Yeah, he told me put coconut oil on him. I'm rubbing it in there, making a salad.
Man,
But
you,
but he
man,
got
it'll take
something
you all. It would
different.
take you all day to grow all.
I
This
know
is a twin.
he owed us something.
This is a twin.
Ray, what you talking about, little lady?
He said, "Yeah, put a little coconut oil on that thing."
Right.
That
I
ain't
was
working.
saying that I couldn't stop looking at your beard. I'm dead. I'm just like, yo.
I'm
No,
using
but
salad
I
dressing
know.
and everything. It ain't working.
No, but I know that it, because Tardom, like you said, we talk outside of the, outside of the space and everything. But I know it sucks. But at the end of the day, I told him, and I'm just gonna say it. I know I'm kind of at work in the jet, but I don't care. We're no longer, in my opinion, we're no longer used to. We're no longer new to winning. We're true to losing.
I think you connect to the Wi-Fi at your job.
Is it? Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Am I cutting in and
Are you
out?
good?
I'm sorry. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay.
Let me check. Yeah.
Oh,
looking good.
it's on me. My bad. That's probably my side.
Is it okay? Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Was that me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're
100 on me.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if they can hear me in the chat, but I was saying that I don't think we're true. We're new to winning. We're true to losing. Like somebody always tells me, no, we're not new to this. We're true to this, and this is what it's been for the last 6 years. 5 years. Gone to a Super Bowl and lost. 1 year we went 6-10. Went back to a championship, lost to the same team that ended up winning the Super Bowl in their own building. Went to Philadelphia, lost. Went to this Super Bowl, lost. I don't know what needs to change. I don't know what needs to happen, but somebody needs to, quote unquote, come to Jesus and have that conversation, address this elephant in the room. And I said it in the chat, and that's another Bible scripture. So I think you guys will be proud of me when I say this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the wisdom to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen.
I don't know what else to tell you guys. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I get it. People are salty and their feelings, but you got to let that go. This is what it is. We have no control over this. You can blame whoever you want. It does not matter. And I have said it in the chat. I'm just going to remind you guys, I am watching it like a hawk, and I have a wrench. I will use it. I will use it. Tardone's wife and mother are in the chat. So any slander or back talk or fight starting, I'm booting you. You heard it from me. But another thing I was gonna say, and I'll let you guys. I'm gonna jump off and let you guys do what you got to do, and I'll go back to the chat. But I also want to say that this season has just been up and down, emotions here and there and everywhere. And I went to 2 games and I saw the highs and I saw the lows, and I don't even know how to call that. There were people in the stands like, "What's going on? This and that, da da da," and you can't do anything about it. Me being mad does nothing. I feel bad for people that are younger than us that have never seen us win.
That's
We
what
are
I want.
spoiled. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like
Yeah,
we've had
that's
5 in my lifetime. I'm 44 years old. And I was old enough to see the 4, not the first one, because I was only like 3 years old, so I wouldn't understand it from nobody anyway. But that's my point. We were spoiled pretty much my whole up to my 20s anyway, or around that time. I was spoiled till that time. Just in Northern California alone, we have so much hardware. Twin knows he's a big Warriors fan just like me. We just came off of one. And I watched the Warriors game last night. We finally went over 500. I'm like, yay, let's go. But I can't control that either. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't control that either.
it's
So,
just you gotta roll with it. You can't jump off
yeah,
like
you got to
my
roll with
boy
it. Yeah.
Mace. Oh, it is what it is. He just jump on the winners and say, "I told y'all we was gonna get you." This is we.
Exactly.
You went to the French school of fandom. We miss you.
Right? Like this comment, like I agree with it. I just feel like we could make it next year to New Orleans, but I figure I look at it like we'll get there, but we'll do this again. Like we'll almost get to the mountaintop. You know what I'm saying? Like we get to look at Mount Everest, we just never get to the top of it. That's how I feel, but that's just me. I respect people's views and opinions and stuff like that, but what I'm not gonna tolerate is all this stuff that you can't control. This is what it is. This coach is going to be with us what for the next 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. That's
Well,
what it is.
he's under contract, and we're going to pay him for the
There you
next
go.
6 years. But I have seen an owner named Jed York willing to make moves and pay you to leave and pay that contract. I've seen him with Chip Kelly. I've seen him with I think Tom Sula got paid some more after he exited
Right.
to get something better, to make upgrades. I have seen him do that. Now, my question is not if he'll do it, but who would supplant and be ready? Because you got to have an exit strategy. You got to have
Right.
somebody who can get you over this hump. Who would that be to y'all? Y'all can drop your answers in the chat, and I'll approach Twin with this question. If you moved them out, who do you put in?
So I'm not technically prepared for this question because I'm not thinking of moving him, or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about him getting fired. I'll have to have like a list of people in front of me to kind of really dig into that. My thing is not about just the firing though. Like it's not about that. My thing is just philosophy, and emotions are probably still going to be raw for the next couple of weeks, because there's one thing we can learn in emotions and in our displeasure of what happened. In life, it says that you are overcome by the word of the Lamb and the blood of your testimony. So we have to discuss the test. If we look over the test, that means we cannot help somebody else who may be in the same trial or tribulation. What you get in the valley is not what you get when you're on top of the mountain. You see what I'm saying? And so when you are in the valley, there are lessons that can be learned, but you're going to have to talk about those bad days in the valley. And so when we are discussing these things, does it hurt? Yes. There's going to be some emotions behind it. Yes. But as long as there's no true malice in your conversation, I think we have to become more adept at having tough conversations without getting so offended in our feelings as a society and as a whole.
Correct.
We got to learn how to do that. You know what I'm saying? We got to have conversations where we want to feel it's gonna be this. It's gonna be some discomfort. Like it's just gonna be uncomfortable. But that's when it shows maturity and growth as people. And so even football can teach you that, because this is why I love the game of football. When you have men and you have to teach them to learn how to have a civil discourse, but talk about some issues. You see what I'm saying? And so we do have issues. You know, we have a beautiful team that's been put together, but there's certain things that we're just missing. And we've been missing it for a long time, because there's a consistent thread that we've seen now over a period of time. I think both of you are data analysis or in the world of data. So there's certain look at and say, okay, what are the consistencies that we keep doing, that we keep coming out with these same results? Now that means somebody has to go back in there and pull out those negative things and begin to magnify and say, we got to talk about this, because rarely have teams had this much talent for over the last 6 years and to come up empty. So therefore, this is a difficult thing, a difficult task to go out here and do. And when you do have the opportunity to strike, you have to strike when it's hot, because eventually you might have to go through a lull or a time of economic situation where this cap is going to hit, starting to all get paid. These things will begin to happen. And so this is where people may feel the pressure of saying, why didn't we get it done? Because these guys are aging. You see what I'm saying? Or the money is, you know what I'm saying? Like, these things are happening. So there's so much that we can discuss, that we will discuss, since it is the off season. But again, I just we got to look at Kyle Shanahan, man. And also, to me, Jed York even. I told people on Ryan Hensley show, you probably can contest to this, Red Jet. I didn't like it when York got on that intercom and got on that with that microphone and started talking about Brock Purdy and what happened in this offseason. I thought that was inappropriate. If you ask me.
Yeah,
that was
I do too.
Very, that was very. I'm talking before we won anything. You see what I'm saying? And I do believe that contribute to even Kyle Shanahan play calling. And I know this will sound bad, but when you think about it, I want to continue to manifest this story, what's going on with Brock Purdy. Dude, it's okay. If you look at Tom Brady first couple Super Bowls, he wasn't launching that thing out there. But we want to give him that.
He just made play. It was game manager wins, but wins nonetheless. Just do what you can do. They already call you a game man. You won't go become the second coming after the Super Bowl. They were still going. I call Brock Cash Money Brock. You know why? Because they ain't gonna give you no credit. It ain't no credit card. You ain't got no credit. It's just cash money. They only accept cash money. So it don't matter, dude. It don't matter. I was saying, man, heavy run loads. Game manage the heck out of this one. Get your chip and walk out of Dodge.
Walk out of here. You 24 years old. You got a long career to continue to grow and be whatever.
Get more. Just
do
what you could do. Get the chip. Right. Come on home, man. I wanted to leave Vegas as soon as we got it, like Ocean's 11. Get on the plane while they out there, while everybody party, because I can't stand Vegas. It's Sin City. If you call yourself a city made of sin, you're not a friend of Utah.
Yeah, like y'all made a comment about being a manager and managing, like dealing with numbers and data and stuff like that. Yeah, like I agree with twins. Like
you could be
first
like in every category. They gonna still call you game manager, but they'll call you game manager when you're giving them that hardware too. Hey, keep on calling me that. Yeah, that's what I is. I don't know.
That's just it. Like we deal with that on the regular though, right? Like I'm at work and people. I've been told like I'm not thorough, I'm not detailed enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, and I have to manage that. I have to manage how I do my work, how I deal with others, how I deal with internal clients, external. It doesn't matter. I have to deal with that. I have to manage it, and you have to manage how you do your dispatch. Twin has twin girls, twin daughters. You have to manage that.
A
father, having a channel, being a fan.
I have to manage people, a boss that don't know nothing. I have to manage the reports. I got to manage all that. I got to look at the clock. I got every call got to be out in under 1 minute. I know all about managing. And you can be brilliant. Yeah. I'm a scientist. I could tell him I'm an author. I could tell him I'm a pastor. I could tell him, hey, man, I'm a wonderful husband. I could tell him all of this. All that don't matter. Yeah. You run a 2,940, whatever. Get the job done. Manage this place. I don't care about your album and wherever it drop. Don't give me all that ancillary stuff. Just do the job. Let's go home.
And
Get it right, church, and let's go home. Go ahead, baby.
About this real fast is
Go ahead, twin. Go ahead.
Unto a man or a woman, whoever, like, there has to be a part of you to say, I know who I am. And you have to be able to look in the mirror and say, despite what goes on the outside noise, I need to know what it is that I do and what I do well. And you have to be able to accept those things. And you cannot allow the outside noise to get into you. That's what Kobe Bryant was talking about the other day. And Kobe was talking to this. And look, Patrick Mahomes said, I watch Kobe videos all the time. Kobe said, I don't take on the mentality of if I win, everything is right. And if I lose, everything is right. He says, I take on the mentality that I'm learning every time. I'm learning more about myself and more about the game. So it keeps me even keel. It keeps me right here in the middle. And so when someone is telling you that it's in the good book, it says, well, I'm a base or am I abound? I've learned how to be content in all of my ways. I ain't gonna throw up all these scriptures at you, but this is the word.
Oh, you done already exposed yourself. Go ahead, man of God.
But it keeps you poised. You see what I'm saying? And it keeps you under where you are grounded from. It tells you where are your roots. And that's the thing for Kyle. I wish that he could have just kept what got him there. We know that people said Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't do A, B, C, and D. That's fine. Brock Purdy has enough in his abilities to do more than what Jimmy G could do. But the thing is this, keep doing what got you there, Kyle. And when it's time for you to rely on the quarterback, he can then go out there and excel instead of flipping it around and trying to make everything on his shoulders. That's on you, my G. Like that's when you're not delegating properly. You see what I'm saying? And again, you got McCaffrey, man. This guy is a beast. This guy is a wonderful runner. We've seen him get 2-3 yards, and like Tara said earlier, and then he busts one for 15 to 20 yards. Again, this is how you got to slay the dragon. You know what I'm saying? And so it's such an unfortunate situation, man. And go ahead. What you about to say, girl? Let me be quiet.
No. You're fine. I was just gonna say real quick because I'm gonna jump back to my desk. But before I leave, like I was thinking about perception. You know what I'm saying? And I think that all teams have that perception. Like we just are perceived to either get there and not make, just never, like I said, never see that mountaintop. And that's something that I went back to before, like just accepting that if you can't change it, we can't control it. Why are you, why, not you guys, but why are you being, PO'd about it? You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't change it and don't, but my thing is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's number one in my Stephen A voice. And then number two is perception is about, in my opinion, about 90% of how people feel about you. It's not based on fact. It's not based on, your attendance record, your, punctuality, you know what I'm saying? It's based, I really do think it's based on how people feel. And that's a big problem, not just with the Niners, but with all 32 teams. Everyone is perceived in their own way. And at the end of the day, we could perceive Kyle however way we want. We could perceive Brock Purdy however we want. But to me, I just don't think it's gonna, I don't know. I mean, y'all know more than I do. You guys are both ordained ministers. So you guys would know way more and have more understanding than I ever could.
Some of us claim it.
That's what I was gonna say. So I love you guys. It's always good to see you guys. I'm going back to watching the chat. Yes, I said it. So y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Red Jet. Thanks for landing, refueling, and she's off. Thank you, Red Jet. Hey, I'm hearing some names in here, man. I see Coach Prime. Nick Nice says, if we were to move on. If we were, I gotta have a plan on who we would supplant. What do you think of one Bill Belichick? What do you think of that?
Some of the issues that we do have surrounds ourselves with discipline and special teams. We gotta be honest. That's something that he was extremely well with. He definitely would have known all the rules in overtime.
Oh my Lord! I wanted to address that. Thank you for the perfect segue. How did our players not know the rules? Going back to Emiliano O. She said, or he said, it's a O, it's a masculine. Taylor Swift made 49ers players admit they didn't know easily and researchably O-time rules. Tay made 49ers players embarrass themselves internationally with the admission. Sure, folks, shaking my head. How did you feel about that? They didn't know that there was overtime rules that changed and it's no longer sudden death.
So to me, that's again a lack of preparation. We talked about this maybe last year. Remember I came on here and I told you I didn't like Tom Brady, but I appreciated the ability to be very poised and Bill Belichick understand the nuances of football games, and that's how they won a lot of their schools. It wasn't the big things that they did very well. It was a small thing. They outsmarted the competition. What you failed to learn and understand, they understood. Know what? They overstood. And so what happens is during these tight moments, that's when you create diamonds. And this is where we mess up. I think I told you diamonds are in the details. And so when you fail to go and look out and search out the details in a game like this, you will lose. Nobody's going to sit here and tell me that receiving the ball first, they're going to say, look, this is what people told me. The defense was tired, so we needed to receive balls to take a break. I say, wait a minute. Let's look at this game, though, Tara. When the offense had the ball last, protection wasn't clean. When the offense had the ball last, we couldn't get in the red zone. So what we need to do was you can send the defense back out there. What you got to do is huddle up your offense, huddle up your offensive line, get your 2 offensive players of the year who were nominated for ground and air player of the year together, get in the huddle, get your protection straight, get everything organized and ready to go out there and say, listen here, it don't matter what the defense does with this offense. We're going to have the opportunity of a lifetime. We're going to end this game on our hands, meaning this. Whether they score 3 or 7, when we get this ball, we're going to go home and win it. We're going to go for a touchdown, and when we're going to go out here and go for the 2-point conversion, I don't care. We finna win it. You know what I'm saying? This game has been played way too long. I'm going to leave this game in the offensive hands, and I'm going to call the best play I ever had in my life. So, therefore, got Colt McGivis. No, hey, guys, when we go out here, know where number 95 is no matter what. Before I hike this ball out, I got 3 timeouts. I can call a timeout and get things situated in order. See, we wasn't thinking the game through. We didn't understand the preciousness that we was going through. Like, you see what I'm saying? In life, so for people to think, to not know that overtime rules was small, no, that's monumental. Give him the ball. You see what I'm saying? Go give him the ball. Like, it wasn't rocket science. And to say that I'm gonna rely on analytics when you're supposed to rely on the vibe of the team, you're supposed to rely on, you got to be a person who can feel what's going on in the atmosphere. You see what I'm saying? Analytics cannot produce what it means to understand momentum. The analytics don't know how to assess that.
It can't quantify moments. It can't quantify emotion. It can't quantify that. It's no formula to say, well, yeah, they hot, or yeah, they're cold, or yeah, somebody got injured, or yeah, somebody. All it's telling you is some research data that over a period of time, looking at it on average, this is what it is. It's like trading stock, day trading. We have something called a simple moving average. It looks at the average of where this stock was on a 15, 20, 30 hour time chart over a period of time. It sells right here, sells right there, sells right there. It can't possibly be every time in the moment, because if it did, we would all be easy. Just get on there and get the simple moving average. And, oh yeah, it's going to go up in 5 minutes. No, it's just an average. It's an average. And that's your analytics. It's necessary. It is. I think it's a good tool, but the analytics came, like you said, account for all of the intangibles other than what is truly going on in the minute. There's momentum, there's injury, there's emotion that can't really be qualified. It can't be, we don't have a number on emotion. Like I said, where is he on the emotional number chart? Oh, he's at a 7.5. All right, factor that in. It don't know how to do that. It can't compute. It's like telling your computer, how am I feeling today? Well, your temperature is 99.3. I think you're sick. No, I've just been out running in the sun. It don't know the difference.
Hey, because the computer could have been saying, know what? We might need we can pass. You can pass still out of I formation. You can pass still under center. I had somebody show me the film of Tom Brady talking about where the offensive line should have protected like Tom Brady did. And I say, bro, this first play was a play action under center. This second play was a play action under center. This third play was a running play in our, like, bro, I'm like, you can sit here and say the protection, which is we all understood. These are things that we knew already. You know what I'm saying? We knew already that the offensive line had issues. What you don't do is go over there and contribute to the offensive line issues. Because when you are sitting here in shotgun formation, single back formation, you are already telling the defense it's a process of analysis, right? You ain't gonna do A, B, C. I can tell that already. And you got a defensive mind like Steve Spagnuolo. He's processing as well.
We got to shout out Steve Spagnuolo, man. Steve Spagnuolo may be the greatest DC ever. If you go back, and not just with the Kansas City Chiefs,
New York,
but in big game, he was the one that took candy from Tom Brady. Include those two, and the three he done had with another GOAT, quote unquote, quarterback. Steve Spagnuolo been figuring things out for a long time and discovering tendencies and really attacking offensive lines. I was on with Johnny Dales. Johnny Dales said the guy is trying to mentally confuse the offensive line. He ain't attacking just the quarterback. He ain't attacking just your back end. He's attacking that offensive line, and he's mentally draining them to the end of the game. This is how he's coming up with that, which is genius.
We had perfect as right. Everybody talked about the Ravens. Hey, the game wasn't out of hand, guys. The game was right there. Why did you have Lamar Jackson just trying to sit here and come into a pocket quarterback and and just continue to throw the ball when you have the TJ McDuffies, when you have these players who are the Ladarius Sneeds and things of that nature, and also y'all making mental mistakes. You was the #1 running team in the National Football League. Just because you see the coverages on first down or second down, it's okay. That's the whole point. He wants you to throw the ball. He wanted us to more pass him
throw it.
Why would you be so cocky and arrogant to say, you know what? I don't care. I'm still going to beat you at that. No, that's when you playing with your food. Don't play with your food, bro. And we've seen this multiple times beforehand, and we still neglect the truth that's sitting in front of us. And that's what I'm saying. It starts from the head on down. Like, bro, what are we doing?
Yep.
That's
exactly what happened. That's a philosophy he's bringing to the game, and I was hoping we wouldn't fall into that trap, but you gotta. I want everybody to think of this. All right, it's been some really good teams that have played, and Saban's gone on, but the University of Alabama. I always knew that Alabama could get lesser talented teams. It's because your top 10 players could match up. Player for player, you could match up early in top 10. If you had a really, really good top 10 team, say you're a mid-major, say you Cincinnati, all right? you can match up early very well with Alabama. But what happens over a period of time on a war of attrition against top players when you can then go to your second team and you've got a whole bunch of 5-star recruits and your third team has 5-star guys to the third quarter? And I always say at the end of the third quarter, they start leaning on that starting first team that they're opposing. And that's when the separation will start, because they can out attrition them with deep level second team, deep level third team, and keep on sustaining. You can't sustain with University of Alabama and these huge universities who have more athletes than you. You can do that too in the NFL. If you keep on pounding the rock and pounding it and pounding it, it's a war of attrition. You're eventually going to break down. Human nature is going to say, we are getting beat up front. We're ending on our backs. They always getting 3 yards. They always getting 2 yards. They always getting this. They always getting that. And they keep moving sticks. And then you break.
In the time.
You break. You break. You break. And the clock has been on your side. When you get time on your side, time of possession and first downs and sustainability, you got them where you want them. You got them where you want them.
Now, keep that same, watch this. We can flip that same energy around.
Okay.
When your defense is getting, they're on the back end of offense going 3 and out, no time run. I got to go back out there again, try to hold him down. Offense go about, get 3 and out. Now the defense is out there again. Offense go out there, get 3 and out. Now the defense is out there again. You got 3 series and you only took up 4 minutes. If you ever played any type of sports, you get no time over there to catch your breath. You get no time over there to get your legs underneath you. So eventually, what we just talked about, nutrition, will become your issue. And then people, and this is why I ain't said nothing about the defense yet, because everybody want to see and start talking about Steve Wilks and what happened and certain coverages that he did do and stuff like that. I'm coming at y'all head because of this. This guy just got here this offseason.
Yeah.
This offensive coordinator been here for 7 freaking years. Majority of these offensive players been here for majority of the time. You got players who have been here. Kittle since 2019, Debo since 2019, Juszczyk since 2019. You got guys over there who have been here the longest. This is all I hear on TV. Detroit Lions offensive tree comes from the Kyle Shanahan. Green Bay offensive tree comes from Kyle Shanahan. The Rams offensive tree comes from Kyle Shanahan. This is all I hear. Bobby Slowick over there in Houston come from Kyle Shanahan. See, y'all people are dishonest and so fake, man. I'm gonna call y'all and tell you about yourselves because I know what it really is, and y'all be out here trying to be blind about it. But I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Y'all faking, y'all phony because y'all don't want to be honest. How is it that everything that this guy has done in all these trees, because nobody's talking about Steve Wilks' tree. Nobody's talking about what Steve Wilks has done. Ain't nobody talking about all the things that he has accomplished. Everything is talking about this offensive genius and what came from him, what was birthed from him, the 2 MVP candidates coming from him, the best thing that we've seen since 1994 offense coming from him. But y'all want to pass the buck and blame it all on the defense when they gave this offense numerous opportunities to go out there and score points. Do y'all know every game that we lost this year, we lost because we didn't score over 24 points? Every game. I seen teams go out here and defense plays trash, but the offense still went out here and put up 35, 40 points and they won the game. But y'all want to sit over here, the first thing y'all want to do is say, well, we need to fire Wilks. Man, now one of y'all, and I'm not saying to fire Wilks, but it's crazy that when the defense don't do what you want to do, you quick to want to sit here and fire somebody. You quick to want to sit here and point out all the plays he didn't do right. But then when I tell y'all, keep that same energy for the offensive coordinator who had multiple opportunities in the playoffs to adjust and do things better, y'all quiet. Y'all don't want to say nothing. See, to me, that's when you're faking. You're phony as hell.
Let me jump back up to my chat. That number there, after Read music versus freestyle, which I'll bring back, is 21. Playoff games and most of your games, if you go back in Wikipedia, just look at the data over time. It is a game of 21. Hold an offense under 21. A defense has done their job. A defense has done their job. An offense needs to get
Cleveland.
to 21. He need to get to 21.
Terry, Cleveland, 19 points. The other team we lost against, 19 points. So hold on, you see, people don't want to talk about it. Cleveland, 19 points. Minnesota, 19 points. I believe it was somebody else. We had back-to-back 19 points, and the offense only scored what? 17 both times.
Yep.
Again,
you got to get to 21.
But I'm telling y'all fake, man. Y'all look,
you
people
got to
be out
get to 21. It's just a point scale. Over average, get to 21. And I was aiming at 28. I had to the game was going to be 28-24. But I will say, missing that PAT, you're always going to be chasing that one. You're gonna have to come up with a one some kind of way, and the only way you can do it is an extra field goal here or a 2-point conversion. You got to get to that. You got to fix that one somehow. You got to fix that one.
This is how you fix it. You finna go into the halftime show, right? The team is already in the red zone situation. They already in the red zone. You got several timeouts, right? So they're going to either score a touchdown anyway. So guess what you do? You stop the clock then. You try to get the ball back, because what has happened? He's already kicked the 50-plus yard field goal kick, right? He missed the point. Give you that. So what you need to do is, okay, his long distance is on point right now. Let me give him another shot. Maybe once we get the ball back, throw a bomb down the field, maybe get a personal foul, a penalty, or holding penalty or something like that. Guess what? I give this man another opportunity. Maybe we can get a couple points, 3 points. And guess what? Now we're back in action. Because you're scared. You're scared, and another time during halftime, before halftime, you mismanage clock, and you don't want to see him go for the gusto. See, again.
And I keep saying, I keep seeing these things, and I gotta admit, man, I have not ever been a Kyle basher. I've seen some things I would like to be done better, but hey, folks, we gotta admit, man, when once is an aberration, twice is a coincidence, 3 times, oh, you trending. That's kind of who you are. This is who you've become. This is what it is. This is it. That's that Marty Schottenheimer. Some of y'all might be young and can't remember Marty Schottenheimer when it got thick in San Diego back then. They were like, hey man, we had a loaded roster, and hey, maybe now Marty never even got to the Super Bowl. That's how tough it was. Marty ain't even get to the Super Bowl, but they noticed the trend. You come up short in these divisional playoffs. You keep coming short in these divisional playoffs. You keep coming short in these divisional playoffs. If I got to tell you 3 times, something's amiss. Something's amiss. And your players don't know the rules.
Hey, and again, people, stop acting like there's not gray areas when you have a discussion about football. Everything's not black and white. When we talk about the nuances of Kyle Shanahan, that doesn't mean we're saying that the dude sucked. Nobody said he's a terrible coach. We ain't saying none of that. But what we are doing, we're pointing out these things that we've seen on numerous occasions during big games that have been an issue. Nobody's going to change. I'm going to tell you this. If Terry don't live 5 miles from me and we supposed to be friends, if I'm doing something dumb and he don't never hold me accountable, if I'm doing something he's just a yes man to me, guess what? This is why I got a lot of friends. So that's why I rock with my brother. You don't need to be my friend, bro. You're not my friend. You listen here. Get out of my circle. Because see, look, you're not going to push me to my fullest potential. You're not going to draw out the best in me, because you're going to let me get comfortable with doing dumb stuff. And
Yep.
the kind of fan base, the media over there, because the media is soft as wet tissue paper, Charmin tissue paper that's sitting in the toilet. We that soft. Nobody want to hold Kyle accountable besides Greg. I mean, I know y'all hate Grant Cohn, but I'm not
Yeah.
agreeing with that he say. But some stuff needs to be said. You got
He's
if he lived
he
on
is
the coast,
he's a booger eater, and he is a closet Eagles fan. I approached him on the show a year or two ago. I said, "You just like them Eagles, don't you?" And he giggled or whatever. They do have a Jewish general manager. I said, "Yeah, well, just say it. Say I'm an Eagles fan. Claim it. Just be you. Don't just say I'm keeping it real. I'm quality control. Look at my fuzzy hair. That ain't because you filter it by just putting so much nasty in it. You ain't you ain't 100. That's all I say.
yeah,
But
see,
yeah, he will go at Kyle Shanahan.
yeah,
He does do that too.
I'm just trying to give the example of if you live on the East Coast, if this was New York, if this was Philadelphia, the reporters they'll be a little more they a little more turned up in their questions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But there's so much comfortability here in the West Coast that you can keep doing stuff and people would pamper you as if they say something negative to you or they keep on pressing the issue about certain things, they feel like they're going to lose their ability and their credentials and stuff like that. But bro, that's part of your job. You can't be so biased that you don't sit here and ask questions that may cause some issues. You know what I mean? Because that's how people grow. And Kyle don't got nobody like that. You know what I mean?
Twin. Shannon Sharpe be just pissing me off because he a little over top with his hate on Jordan and his hate on Tom Brady. But he has a saying I heard back in the day: I will not accept anything in a win that I wouldn't accept in a loss. Good football is good football. Sharp execution is sharp execution. Hitting your intangibles, hitting your Wade points is hitting your Wade points. And maybe that's an old school thing. Me and him close to the same age. I think he got about 5 or 6 years. Or it's a military thing. Even though the operation was a success, if the patient died, I got to say, hey, this could have been done different. After every mission, we have what's called an AAR, after action review, and we check out everything that went right, everything that went wrong, and it is said, hey, we got to clean that up. We got to clean that. It was a successful mission. And granted, everybody came home. But dude, we got to tighten up on our rally points. Our wedge formation, you was a little close to me there, and that can happen, man. That can be catastrophic one day. Hey, who forgot to pack more ammo? The 60 gunner. Why wasn't his assistant with him? Just it's certain things. We ran out of water, guys. Although it was a quick mission, we hit them. We got in there. We exploded on the terrain, and we got them out on a quick snatch. Dude, who the hell didn't pack the water? And it fall on the squad leader. If all on the squad, that was my bad. But I'm raining downhill because I'm telling somebody, why you ain't remind me? I done told y'all what we need. Why didn't you tell me something? There'll be a conversation for later. But even though you're successful on something, we always striving for absolute perfection and excellence. And I think I'm reiterating what you're saying. You can be winning. You can get over on so-and-so. You can get over on Green Bay. You can get over on the Lions, who have a coach that eats kneecaps and bites half a butt. But hey, this got to be cleaned up right here. And I tell you, a shout out to some people who clean themselves up. I was very, very hard on Chase Young. Chase Young had he came out like, hey, dude, I heard everybody all week. I got my stuff straight. Chase Young came out there ready to ball. I told Mike before the game, I said, man, look for a play from Connolly. Connolly is ready to go. Connolly, he said, oh, he ain't even gonna play. He ain't even Connolly ain't nobody. I said, man, all I need is that one good play, that two good plays. I called Juwan Jennings calculator. I said, you can count on him. I got 4. Hold on. Let me my prognostication sheet at. I said Christian McCaffrey gonna get 30 carries, and your boy coming up with one of them. I might have got mad and threw my stuff out. I don't know. No, there you go. I told him this is stuff. You see that 30 besides CMC, 30 touches, 10 for Debo. Ayuk should get 7 touches. Kittle should get 7. Third and Juwan go get 4 touches some kind of way, and Juice go get 4 touches some kind of way. That's our formula of winning, but we got to avoid penalties, picks, putting it on the ground, play calling, and daggone penetration. And daggone if my boy Trent Williams, the best whoever did it, come out there with 2 false starts or a false start in a hole or something.
Hey, but
the gravity of the moment, boy. The gravity of the moment hit everybody.
Hey, but he has had penalties this year, and he has been holding this year. And like, we don't want to talk about it, because he's Trent. His name is his name. But then also we got to be real. These things has happened. So this is why you have to got to prepare for it all. Yes. When you say 30 touches or 30, listen, those passes to Debo should have been handoffs. Again, what's wrong with I formation? What's wrong with 21 or 22 personnel? Somebody in the chat tell me, when has it been that bad of a situation where you have the team that we have, the blockers on the outside with Brandon Ayuk, Jennings, like with George Kittle and these individuals with Juice? Like, when has it been that bad of an issue when we run the ball in that personnel? I'm not talking I formation or single back formation. I'm not talking in none of that. I'm talking about real old school nasty football. Line these boys up in I formation tight or I formation wide. You can have a little motion. But at the end of the day, you can know what you can do with the motion. You can play action fake with it. You can run left, run right, hand it to the fullback, hand it the fullback to. You can motion out the tight end, hand it to him. Reverse. You can do a lot of things in I formation.
Of things, yes sir, yes sir. Love
but
I.
You can go turn your back to the defense and launch that thing down the field. Like, come on, baby. Like, we can keep it basic. Because when you spread everything out, it's too cute with an offensive line that can be suspect. And then you want to keep that dude number 15. Have we not seen enough of number 1?
You know what he do. You can't give a if you got a casino, say you run in the house, and this little lucky SOB always coming in here breaking you, and you done seen him break other people at other casinos. You better have a cooler or something when he come to yours. A cooler is somebody who just stands beside it. He just janky. He just whenever he come around you, you could have been rolling 7-7s. But if that cooler sit beside you, you be like, man, I don't know what's happening. But I can't hit. It's Vinny the Mush. Vinny the Mush, ladies. Y'all check out a movie, great movie, Bronx Tale. It's called Bronx Tale. Chaz Palminteri, Robert De Niro, Colugelo. They got a cooler named the Mush, and the Mush just can mess it up. Our Mush is running the football and keeping crazy on the sideline. Don't let him into my hotel. Don't let him into my casino. That daggone boy lucky. He lucky light-skinned Luciana.
That's why they say all 3 phases work together, man. You have to be in unison with one another. Again, we saw similar issues in the Philadelphia game against the Eagles. The first couple possessions, that defense went out there. They standed tall. They gave the ball back to the offense. The offense didn't do nothing. They stand tall again, gave the ball back to the offense. They have a big play. They stop them, keep them to a field goal, stop them, keep them to a field goal. They scored 2 field goals, which was 6 points. That team had a record for like 21 straight opportunities in the red zone, which they had converted a touchdown. It was a national football record. This is when we broke them. We broke their will because we were able to stop them when over 2 seasons nobody had stopped them. See, we don't want to talk about certain things.
Man, Michael Irvin said when you stop a man or when you defeat a man, you have beaten them. But when you take what a man does well, you break him. That's your bread and butter. That's what makes you, and I have broken you because that was going to be your go-to. Every good player have a pistol up under the desk or somewhere near him. When I done been in your house and took that pistol away and I come and raid you, oh boy, and you go to reaching for it and it ain't there, I done broke you. I done broke you. And speaking about breaking people, man, we're going to hit 49ers Ultimate Report. John Jay is with us in the building. John Jay, what are you feeling this morning? Okay, let me do that again. John Jay, how you feeling this morning? Take 2.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, man?
Yeah. Well, as a long time Bay Area resident, 49ers fan, I've been privileged to see my baseball team, my basketball team, but the football team, for some reason, doesn't want to win. I wonder why. I don't know if we're cursed, but it's just, oh, man. But life goes on. I tell myself life goes on, and, another year of what if, what could have been. So that's just how I feel.
I know, man. And I feel some kind of way for the younger cats. I celebrated my 54th birthday Saturday, and I was on for 24 hours with Melissa and Mike from Nothing But Niners, the mothership. Shout out to him again. Had staff duty with him, and I really wanted this for y'all 40-somethings and 30-somethings. I wanted y'all to really feel newcomers. It's newcomers to me, but I was 11 when we won the first one, and I can remember it. I was 14 on the second one, and I was 18 on the third, and I was 19 on the fourth, and I was 24 years old and in the Army on the fifth. And I bore witness, and it's a feeling like you just, man, you just can't describe. It got so prevalent, and Tony used I was on with them as it was happening. Tony used a reference saying it's deja vu, and I was like, man, dang, that's what Sam Weish said when we were playing them in that Super Bowl where Tom comes back, and the scores were very similar. I think it was 13-16, 16-16, and Tom hits John Taylor on the I think it's a Z post. And when he said that, it hit me, dag, we the Cincinnati Bengals. When the dynasty was forged, we started with a Super Bowl win versus the Cincinnati Bengals in 81. And then it was solidified with the Cincinnati Bengals against the Cincinnati Bengals down in Miami when Jerry Rice went for, Jerry Rice he couldn't be stopped. He was Super Bowl MVP, 215 yards in 89. And when he said deja vu, I'm like, here come Patrick Mahomes on the field, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. All the things to say, and he didn't realize it. He didn't know. That's the same thing Weiss said when Joe Montana was coming on the field and telling the John Candy story. And I was like, we the Cincinnati Bengals now. And I made Cincinnati feel some kind of way for years. but God will turn that thing around and say, oh, you think you cute. This is what it feels like to get on the other side of that, young man. I'm gonna show you something. And I know, man. I know, but believe we had the team to do it. We took them all the way to the end of regulation and they needed another quarter. And in both times that we played them, I promise you, we had it in the building what could defeat them. I know how great Patrick Mahomes is. He's really, really, really good, and he's wonderful, and everybody's crazy about him. He's the GOAT and all of this stuff, GOAT conversation. But man, he can be beat, and we had him beat. But we are giving him that. There are 2 victories that he has. We gave them his victories.
We contributed. And hey, I think Tanisha, I don't know if I'm saying your name right or wrong. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong.
Yes,
but
Miss Tanisha.
Tanisha spoke on it. George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk are both saying, hey, man, that press conference, he's like, dude, we doing it again. Brandon Ayuk posting on IG. Don't forget what got you there. Like, sometimes it's simple, man. And that's the sad part about it, because like you said, it's not like we didn't have the ability and all the tools that needed to go out there and get the job done. Sometimes there's certain teams that don't got the tools in the toolbox. They don't got it. Yeah. They don't have the adjustable wrench, or they don't have, you know what I'm saying, the power.
They don't have it.
Some teams don't got that. Yeah. But when you got everything that you need, you just need a person who's a foreman that understands the plan of action that needs to be taken and go out there and execute, to delegate. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that sucked, man, because at the end of the day, it's like, bro, that team is, people don't understand how talented that team is. Like, we have an abundance of riches. And in life, we know about life. Life has their ups and their downs. And as a 49 fan, we know this. When you have what you need, you got to make the most of it. You know what I'm saying? That door is open, baby. You got to crack that thing open. And even with the thing that happened with some of our draft picks, some of the things that we did that we shouldn't have done, it still came back and worked in our favor. And we still went out here and you know, it kind of messed up our own hand of spades. We reneged. We cut some books when we didn't have to.
Oh, that's
your
nasty.
partner. Listen here, your partner had that
good reference.
Your partner had the queen of spades. Look, you threw ace out there, and your partner had the queen in the jack, and you could have stayed on that book and made some extra books on the side, but you decided to get free.
Oh, come on, twin.
What your partner had, the next thing you know, you cut but your partner. You could have threw off the diamonds, and then when they played diamonds on the next time around, you could have bust their head off.
Yeah, man, you can rent the whole Boston, but you
Come on, man.
You got greedy. You got
greedy.
He's greedy. He greedy. Shout out to Brian Cup. Let me read some of these chats, man. It's lit up today. I got Red Jet Shell says, how are you, Brian? My man, Brian Cup, ladies and gentlemen. A1 Day 1, Golden Doma. Brian Cup, man. Good to see you in there. Nick Nice, 21, BA girlfriend on TikTok saying they not gonna be in the Bay next year. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I'm gonna throw a Yaka money at him, and we'll see about that. We definitely need an OC. Manly Shavers, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. Kyle is he's a wonderful designer, but not all designers are stylists. You can be a Christian Dior. You can be a Hugo Boss. You can be a Tom Ford. You can be a Michael Kors. But the stylists are somebody different who know what's going to look good on you in the moments of an Emmy, in the moments of a wedding that you have coming up, in the moments of.
Harold, drop the link real fast for BC, if you don't
Okay,
mind.
I got you. And a stylist is different from a daggone designer. Designers is
fashion, baby.
who you wear, but that stylist knows what look good on you and
Come on
what's
now,
good
keep talking.
at the time.
Hey, let's talk about some fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know I like that fashion. My wife was some wonderful cologne for me. What's that? Pablo Pibane. And I'm probably saying it wrong, but it smells good, baby. Thank you so much. $1 million and some change she bought on. And speaking of $1 million and some change, coming to the stage, my super producer, Brian Cole, rocking a sweet, depending on where you are in the country. And I done heard him down here in North Carolina say toboggan. Some people will say Scully. Some people will say beanie. But it's dope, man. And keep your head warm with that big logo. How you doing today, man? Love you.
Oh man, I appreciate it. And yes, happy birthday. I seen it and I wanted to make sure, and I remembered it, but sometimes you gotta be. That's why I love social media. You got like Facebook out there, you got Twitter and Instagram, and they help remind you some of the finer things and some of the things that you should remember, but sometimes they slip your mind. But hey man, what a game, huh?
It was a game. It was a game.
Can I get your honest? Well, I always get your honest opinion, but can I get your thoughts on this? And really, it is a question. Would you have had it any other way other than us coming out on top? I mean, was the game everything you wanted from really both sides?
It was very memorable, but I really like to just dominate and beat people into the ground. But yeah, as far as you knew the crowd was going to be incredible, not just in the presence, but with all the Swifties out there. So it gave them drama. And I think in terms of the product that is the NFL, it gave you all you wanted. It gave you suspense.
Yep.
It gave you drama. It had Travis Kelce up there bumping the coach. It had. Then my man Greenlaw, oh my God, when Greenlaw went down just walking onto the field, running onto the field, I'm like, oh my God. And just young guys, and I gotta say, not too young, but unheralded heroes jumping up. Jawan Jennings was looking real Super Bowl MVP-ish, getting his flowers up until the actual loss. Jawan Jennings, man, who myself and Melissa been riding for 2 years. I know. I call him calculated because you can count on him. He threw that touchdown, and he took a pretty good shot under the chops, which they didn't call. Amen. But he threw that thing, man. He's a former quarterback, and our defense was stellar. Our defense was just so stellar. They bowed their backs, and those daggone that Spagnuolo, man. He's he. I thought Bill Belichick was the greatest DC in history, but that Spagnuolo is he's chomping up ground. He's chomping up ground. I got to give it to him. He's chomping up.
Other than the loss, exactly what I think everybody wanted. They wanted a good game. It was a game, I didn't sit until the very end of the game because it was just that was how intense it was. I was standing by people. I'd have to move away from them because they would start talking or they're, and I'm focused on the game. We had a nice little party at my house and it was really nice. The pork butt was awesome. The bone pulled right out. I tell you what, it was great. We had it on for like 14 hours. Everything was great, except we stopped running the ball in that third quarter.
Oh yeah, man. Three
Everything
straight
was great.
outs, man. You can't have it. I can't have it, BC. I
And
can't have it, man.
I got to pump my chest up a little bit and tell everybody, I've been saying it all year, that it's going to be a moody season. And it came down to a very moody season. Everyone's emotions were high. They're still going to be high. It's going to be carrying on until next season. But that guy went out there and he swung his foot. And he swung his foot and he broke the record until later.
He did have
He
he had it for about what's that 7-8 minutes.
Yeah,
But
he
I
had the
didn't.
record. It was like that long, but he had it.
Yeah, he had it. He had it. He did have it. But they had remember that movie with the mule who can kick? They said here comes Butker, and he was warming up at 70 yards. I was like, well, damn.
Yeah, that dude.
This gonna come back in on us.
But yeah, the game was great. It really was. I don't understand why we got away from running the ball. I don't understand why we were in shotgun and there wasn't anybody standing next to him. Where there at least gives you a perception that somebody might take the ball from him. There was no like disguise, you know. And I think we really, at a certain point, I think we were playing too safe instead of playing aggressive or playing, you know, like confident. And it's kind of hard to be confident when your players are dropping. Everybody was dropping. We had Debo drop. You guys said Greenlaw as well. There was just so many people that was just going. Kittle went down. You know, there were so many players that it was like every time he turned around, but they kept fighting. They definitely kept fighting. So I'm very proud of my San Francisco 49ers. And I don't know if anyone else has said it, if you've heard it, but we are going to be that team. We are going to be that team that goes back next year. We are going to repeat to the Super Bowl, and we are stopping the three-peat. Because believe it or not, the Chiefs will be there. They will be there. It's going to be three-peat. You'll hear it all year. They'll be talking about the Chiefs three-peating, but the Niners will be there to stop them. That's my thoughts.
Now I'll push back on that a little bit. There's a coach coming to the NFC West. And I'm going to tell you what. When at that big Jim Harbaugh comes and you give him some talent and you give him some DBs in a couple of pieces, watch how he plays Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna play him twice. All those that think he's just unbeatable and stuff like that, you watch the man. That is my coach. I love Big Jim Harbaugh. He came back up there to Michigan and he said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get in our formation. We're going to win the line of scrimmage.
Whoa.
And we're going to punch you in the mouth. He came to San Francisco. He said, we're going to get in our formation. We're going to line up and we're going to punch you in the mouth. He went to Stanford. He said, we're going to get in our formation. We're going to line up and we're going to punch you in the mouth. I don't care who playing quarterback. I'll find one. I'll get one. I'll get an Andrew Luck. I'll get a Colin Kaepernick. I'll get a whatever they got, McCarthy. I'll get that. But we're going to punch you in the mouth and I'm going to get nasty and tenacious on defense and ferocious. And it's all about the team and we're going to work. If you don't want to work, get your ass right on out of here right now.
Hey, TD.
Because I'm coming downhill. Go ahead.
Real fast, TD, go back to that championship game, though, against Washington versus Michigan. Listen, every running back on Michigan got an opportunity to touch that rock. Every running back on that, they ran for 203 yards in the first half.
Old school football, son. That's what it takes to win here.
Hey, you know what? That's what it takes to keep the guy who is phenomenal on the sideline chilling.
He can't hurt you on them sidelines.
He can't hurt you.
When you run the rock, the average player in the NFL takes 6 seconds. They reset the clock after the whistle, and that is 40 more seconds.
Come on.
You get out of the huddle, you line up, and you keep doing it again. You're taking 3/4 of a minute every play. Every play, you're taking 3/4 of a minute, and you convert on a 3.3 yards per average. That's all you need, 3.3. And you move the sticks, and you've taken 3 minutes off. That dude, every drive is costing you 3 minutes 3 minutes of opportunity, 3 minutes of success, 3 minutes of this, 3 minutes of that. The games are shorter. The games are shorter. And before you wake up and realize what's happened to you, oh my God, the game over, and you don't have any opportunities there, Mr. Han Solo or Mr. Kelsey or Mr. Yeah, give me.
It might not be that entertaining though, but guess what?
I ain't here for the entertainment.
I care, and this is just me. Everybody has their own. God dog it.
Yeah.
I want to win.
Yeah. That's my entertainment. Putting that championship, putting rings on is my entertainment.
Look, we can celebrate for months on end and be as happy as we want to be when we get that W. Because know what else sucks though? The game was good, but them players out there put their body on the line, their sacrifices away from their family. They are really putting like limbs and things of that nature on the line every time. That hurts. Your body is body. That stuff hurts out there when you putting your body on the line like that, and you walk away knowing that you were the better team, knowing that you had the victory. Again, and this is not the first time this has happened to them young men. It hurts them. That hurt George Kittle. That hurts Juszczyk. You see what I'm saying?
It takes something out you. It takes something out you. It
takes a lot out you, man. And so, like, I know. I mean, it's the Super Bowl, but at this point in time, it's not like this is the first time we've been there and like, okay, it was a good game. This is numerous occasions that them guys has went out there and put their body on the line and been so close to victory.
Yep.
Have to come home and be like, dog, man, because hey, that boy Patrick Mahomes say, I want rings. Don't give me no feel good story. His mentality is different.
Yeah, just give me the win. Give me the win. Hey, Brian, I had a real quick while I got you. I know you might be working and you got to get back. Somebody said something about the kicker in the Manly Shaver's got a question or a comment. Go ahead, you address that thing, man.
So I went back and I looked as well. I don't see him kicking necessarily off his ankle, but hey, I wear glasses, so forgive me. But what I did see is the line not blocking for him. Every kick, you always see the players getting their hands up and stuff like that. And if you go back and you look at one of Butker's kicks, it came very close to being blocked as well. So it is a game of inches or fingertips, however you want to say it. But that extra point he missed didn't decide the game. After we had that touchdown, if we would have had the extra point, we would have been up. They went down and tied the game. So if they would have had an extra point there, the Chiefs would have went and tried to score a touchdown. So again, it's not a safe bet, but other than the extra point, and it's everybody. It's the long snapper, it's the blocking of the line. They got to block. They got to give the guy some kind of push off. Even if the hands are going to come up, they still got to push him out a little bit, give him that little separation. So if he did kick it low, hey, shame on him for sure, but he kicked it up high enough to get it up there. So I don't know, guys. I mean, it was just a game. They just made the right move at the right moment. We just didn't counter, but he made the kicks when they mattered. So
we're always chasing that point. That one point is always Harbaugh. Yeah,
I don't know if he's going to be ready the first season. He could catch everybody off guard and stuff. But I think it was Bashar who said it, if it's true that he hired Roman, that's not necessarily the best look for him or the best direction to go for him.
This is the deal with Roman. We keep looking at him on the end of the process. Roman, for a beginning, will have your quarterback. Let's think about Roman at the beginning of careers for somebody. At the beginning of Colin Kaepernick, won't he win in playoff games to get into the Super Bowl?
See, Colin Kaepernick was an athletic.
He was an athletic, but right? somehow he gets him to the Super Bowl, and he wasn't
the Super Bowl. Did he get him to the Super Bowl? Alex Smith was that close the year before, and if it wasn't for a special teams blunder, Alex Smith would have been a Super Bowl quarterback, right? Then the next season, the only reason Alex Smith got taken out is because of the concussion. Kaepernick comes in, he plays really well, but he tied the game. We didn't win the game. So whose fault is that? Is that the athletic quarterback? Is that the play calling? Or was that the team? Well, it's got to be one of, it can be all of them, right? But the defense is the same defense that I was with Alex Smith. The defense got us to the Super Bowl. It was the play calling, and it was Kaepernick who threw the ball 4 times in the end zone and missed Crabtree. It wasn't anybody else. It wasn't. So, I mean, he was a great quarterback, but that was that defense that got us there. All 3 years, it was defense.
Okay, but I have to say, we went to a Super Bowl with Kaepernick early in Kaepernick's playing career. He goes to Baltimore early in Lamar Jackson's career. Lamar Jackson gets to the first seed of the playoffs and gets the MVP. He hadn't prior to this, or they didn't happen to do this prior to this. All of a sudden, Lamar, and he's kind of capped off right now. He hasn't kicked it in and won a Super Bowl or even been to a Super Bowl, but he gets the MVP and another playoff win with this current head coach. What I'm just trying to say is, with Greg Roman, early in the careers of people, or when he first comes, you happen to improve. Now, I can't say that you stay there or you get Super Bowls. I can't say that. But there's an improvement early in the careers of quarterbacks when Greg Roman's around. Maybe he ain't got nothing to do with it, but this happens.
Well, let's break that down. Let's break that down. What's the improvement? Because now we're Greg Roman, right? We have an established system. We have established system, and it doesn't necessarily rely on the quarterback passing the ball. So let's give Kaepernick, this young guy who's really fast, with a veteran running back, Frank Gore. That's success right there. Right there. And then you got a good defense on the other side of the ball that doesn't give up a bunch of yards. So I don't have to necessarily score a bunch of yards. I just have to make sure my running back doesn't fumble. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying Greg Roman's bad, but I just don't see that happening. It sounds like the San Diego Chargers just became the San Francisco Chargers.
But now you inherit Justin Herbert, who is a freak of nature. I've seen Justin Herbert roll to one side outside of the numbers and throw downfield every bit of 70 yards. You give that to Jim Harbaugh, along with a good, sound defense, which they have the players in place to do this. All-pro or former or current all-pro outside edge, marquee rusher, Derwin James in the back, and sprinkle in a couple other special players. I'm telling you, it looks real good. Not to mention, he just picked up somebody as his defensive coordinator. It's going to be Barry, and he's after probably Dante Whitner to come in and help him out on the back end of his defense. You're going to see some eerily similar things to the San Francisco 49ers, who went to 3 straight NFC championships and went to a Super Bowl and was within a stone's throw or overthrow of winning it. I'm just saying, the table set. I will guarantee you that the Los Angeles Chargers will be in the playoffs next year. That's the confidence I have on a national championship winning Jim Harbaugh. He's done it it ain't no more to ask. He's done every time He's taking over, whether it's San Diego State, whether it's Stanford, whether it's San Francisco, whether it's Michigan. Every time this guy has improved. And y'all can be mad and say it ain't all that, it ain't this and that. It's just the results. I'll say the same thing about Purdy. All I got is the data before me. He just keeps doing it. All right. Just watch it smoke.
Hey, I think he's a good coach. I would have liked to have him back several times in the past, but again, I don't know if it's going to be, him starting out 1 year and him, but it could happen. Definitely could happen. Stranger things have happened, but I don't know. I'm glad I'm a 49er fan and not a Charger fan. Let me tell you that. And I'm happy where we're at right now. I'm a
49er. That trumps, but I really
know that
I really like this guy. I really did. And I think it was Trent Baalke. Now, if you talk about a bum, it's Trent Baalke. And I keep bail money near me. And my wife keeps it on the credit card in case I ever see him. I'm going to smack him in his mouth because that's the guy who messed this thing up. It wasn't Jim Harbaugh. It wasn't Jed York. It wasn't any of them. Big Jim puts on khaki pants and comes and talks about football. That guy is who I want. I don't want no GM who talks funny and throws people under the bus, hires Tom Sula, hires Chip Kelly, doesn't really know what he's doing, and now he's over there in Jacksonville, and you see they ain't got nothing. Watch what I tell you.
Okay, we got this guy right here, VAC29. Does Harbaugh say no to Brady? No, he does not say no to Brady. He did not say no to Harbaugh. Harbaugh did not say no to Peyton Manning. I'm sorry. The Niners we couldn't get Peyton Manning. We would have went to Peyton Manning right there. But
yeah,
it just didn't happen. We just couldn't get it done. But that's one thing about taxes and the great state of California and other places, and maybe make a little bit more money. But I don't understand that either. I really don't think that's fair. But Trent Baalke, yeah, he was probably the problem. He was a big problem. But that
was the one leaking them stories, man. When Dion and them, when that national media was coming and said, "Oh yeah, Harbaugh's lost the locker room. Oh yeah, he's a bad person. He's crazy. He's this and that." Trent Baalke ain't did nothing since, but sit around and lose and make terrible decisions. It won't Jim Harbaugh. That was Trent Baalke. Trent Baalke set this franchise back and didn't want to sign Jim Harbaugh because he just doesn't like him. Hey, tough titty. I work with people every day I don't like. I work with racists. I work with everybody. We got a job to do. You just make it happen. Everybody ain't gonna like you. Everybody ain't gonna like you. Just make it happen.
Would Singletary still be in? Would he still be in that building? Would he have still been coaching if he didn't have that? Was it against Seattle where he went into the locker room and dropped his trousers? I mean, that's the reason he got fired, right? Not because he yelled at the players, not because he, yelled at Vernon Davis, is because he exposed himself during his rant, right?
Yeah.
I think we would have had success with Singletary. The team they were poised. We were going. Alex Smith was crazy in the playoffs in 2011. He was against the Saints. He had a big run too.
He had, and that was a signature moment for Alex Smith. And I liked Alex Smith. Alex Smith was good and steady. He got injured. We put in Kaepernick against the Chicago Bears that night, Monday Night Football, and Kaepernick just showed an explosiveness. And Big Jim said, "Hey man, I think we can do something with this." Alex Smith, go ahead and stay out. I got some plans with me and Greg Roman can fit stuff around this guy, and I think we can do something new, shake up the NFL for the time. I didn't say it's sustainable for 10 years, and you come up with the West Coast offense, but to take that talent, because that Jim Kaepernick couldn't really read and process like a Brock Purdy. Let's get the The connotation is, oh, he's a game manager. He read processes and throws it accurate. Duh, that's what you need to be a good quarterback. But Kaepernick had those Cam Newton game-changing skills. And as far as I know, he's had the record for a quarterback rushing in the National Football League in the playoffs. Are we're cool on that? You can fact check me there, Callie Young. You fit your offense around what you've got and you make the most of it. You might not have a Ferrari, but can you make your Chevy Citation able to race in a daggone stock car race? That's the one I want. I want the guy who can take the Chevy Citation and go out here and race Mustangs, Mustang GTs, Corvettes, and everything else. I don't need a guy who already got a daggone, $1,000 million engine V12. I mean, you ain't did nothing. But then when you give him that, unlimited budget, the guy that can make a Chevy Citation be in the Formula One race, I don't know what you might get. And Justin Herbert is Formula One V12 engine, 450 block, ready to go. I know it won his last, coach. I know that.
He's a good quarterback. He made a lot of noise in the combine. If he didn't have the performance he did in the combine, he probably would have got overlooked. He's a tall quarterback. He stands confident. He's a big guy. But sometimes, you need a little bit more extra around you. The coach he had last season didn't seem to, I don't know what it is. The Chargers haven't been right since they left San Diego. And the Spanos family, they're really involved here in Stockton, where I'm at. They have a lot of business here, but their decision to move out of San Diego hurt their fan base. And, sure, maybe they're not paying for rent right now. I don't think they have to pay rent for like 100 years or something crazy like that, but it just doesn't make any sense.
That deal. Is this, I think you had mentioned it on your show once. How did they do that?
It's crazy, but they don't even have to pay rent. And we might have to go more into detail on that one day on your show or my show, something like that. But
they're literally living rent free in one of the most expensive places in the world. They pass it on over to the Rams. Y'all pay for it, but we're here.
It's all convenient because the colors, blue and yellow, or baby blue, and it's all very, very convenient. Right. They didn't want the Raiders moving back to LA. They knew the Raiders were going to overshadow the Rams. They didn't want the Raiders moving. They didn't want the Raiders moving to Los Angeles at all. And they talked about the divisions changing a little bit, and they actually talked about the Chargers going into our division. And it just didn't happen. It didn't happen. But you know what? The Niners even offered the Raiders a chance to, stay in our stadium so they could build a stadium. They decided not to. So, it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to this season. I really am. And, it's not the results we wanted, but we got to the top and we got really, really close. And I think it was a better game than the 2019 game. I think it was way better. I think we were more professional. I think we were more mature. We got really close. Just don't understand why we got away from running the ball in the third quarter. When we went back to it, we started winning. When we went back to it, we got points. So I just don't understand that.
And we just that ebb and flow, man. When you get a guy down, I think Kyle has the perception of let's be aggressive here. When they're down, let's be aggressive. But aggressive doesn't necessarily mean throwing the ball. Aggressive is doing what you do best and beating them to it and defeating them. Now, if that's all we knew, throwing the ball, and we're a 60% passing team, 70% passing team, and this is what we do, that's fine. That's what you do. But we're a split counter gap, outside, inside zone run team based on the options of it, and then we come at you with the play fakes, screens, and we let it open up. You start rolling your safeties down, then we'll open you up with the Yankee concepts, slide concepts, and everybody looks wide open. This is what we do. He out here trying to say, well, I got him a touchdown down. Let me be aggressive. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Average play 6 seconds. You do 3, the clock stops on that incompletion. That ain't taking but 18 seconds off. And now you give the most explosive guy in the world another opportunity. 3 and out, another opportunity. 3 and out, another opportunity. 18 seconds. He's going to eventually get you.
If the muff punt didn't happen, the Niners would have had the ball there and they would have, had that possession. And at least the Chiefs wouldn't have had an easy touchdown. They would have had to drive the field.
Yeah, and those points off of turnovers.
You can't tell everybody that you stand in the
14-point swings.
You can't tell all the players on the field to stand there and keep their eyes in the air when they have one guy in the backfield who's supposed to be doing that. And they have their job. They're supposed to be blocking. So you can't blame it necessarily on somebody because
no, not at all. Not at all. I don't blame anything on anything. Chance happens.
Yeah.
That's Ecclesiastes 9:11. Chance happens, but you minimize the odds when you just run the ball. Keep running the ball, getting the time off the clock, and breaking your opponent's will. I've just seen it over time. The Redskins used to do this in 80, the Cowboys in the 90s, the San Francisco 49ers in the 80s. They used to just carve you up real quick with long handoffs and then let Roger Craig and Rathman just run you out. The 49ers, believe it or not, I'll tell y'all this. You remember how great the 85 Bears were and they had Refrigerator Perry, right? Yep. You know where that came from? Bill Walsh put Guy McIntyre, number 62, in the backfield the year before that on our way to the Super Bowl and had him be a big guard and a big fullback. And it was some get back when we played him the next season. Mike Ditka said, here you go. I'm going to put my refrigerator in the backfield like you did me. And we lost on it was either a late Sunday game or a Monday night game. That whole refrigerator thing was born in San Francisco, California. If we don't just pound the rock and put Guy McIntyre in the back, football changes immensely. The story of the 1985 Bears wouldn't include William the Refrigerator Perry. That was some get back from what he's seen Bill Walsh do. Those are the facts, and you can check me.
So if CMC is only getting 1 or 2 yards and he's getting stopped, you have Mitchell. It's a little bit bigger. Maybe he's going to hit a little differently. Maybe the people aren't going to know how to tackle him. Maybe he's fresher. But to not utilize, you get 2-3 yards, 2-3 yards, 2-3 yards. You got third down or at least a fourth down that might be manageable, a little bit easier to maybe attain, maybe one or something. But they didn't do that. And then I see Callie Young. I see a lot of our great people here in the group. I don't know everyone's name here, but
Manly Shapers.
Bat 29, everybody here, you guys got good points. Why have him in shotgun and not have a blocker right there? Even if the blocker isn't going to take the ball, the running back, have somebody standing right there. Then if he needs extra time, he's got a running back right there who can take in, hit somebody or block somebody for him. I'm not the play caller, Teradell, but I'm sitting there and I've watched enough football to understand they don't need to be doing this right now. They are exposing their hand. I don't even play poker, but I know you're not supposed to turn your hand and cards, right? And when you're in shotgun and there's nobody next to you, you know it's an obvious pass.
We know what this is. This got to be a pass. So you've eliminated 50% of what it could be, because you even if you ran Brock, dude, you're into the teeth of the defense. Let me do this real quick, because I gotta close up. I gotta get ready to go to an appointment.
It's a score.
Glad you on there. This is
an
Baldy.
easy touchdown. And up front, Brendel's going to pull. All right, but this is wrong right here. Somebody's wrong. The chances are there should have been a slide to the right. You can't let the Chiefs' best player, Chris Jones, come free. He's a monster. And so Purdy's forced to throw this ball away. Maybe he had a shot at Jennings. They kicked a field goal. But had they blocked it properly, this is what they would have had. Up at the top is man coverage. All right, McDuffie is on Debo, and L'Jarius Sneed is on Ayuk, and Ayuk is going to beat him clean. In fact, Sneed is on the ground, and Ayuk is running free in the end zone. Could have easily been a touchdown if they blocked it well up front. Ayuk scores maybe as easy as.
Look at that. Look at that. Look, it's nobody even in the frame, man. He's standing in the end zone, and one miss cost you 7 in the biggest
touchdown of the season. He can't believe it. You can see it. He's like, no, with a chance to score.
I've been looking at, I thought that Burford had pulled, and if so, okay, it's called boom blocking. If you pull them, it's boom blocking, which is blocking backside or pulling backside. Pitch is blocking play side or pulling play side. With it being, Burford just slid down and not out, and our tackle just turning his back. It was just a blown assignment against their best pass rusher, and whom I consider the best interior player right now in the National Football League, the premier one. It used to be Aaron Donald, but it is not Aaron Donald and hasn't been. My cousin and I have had this conversation over and over again. We put Aaron Donald on the back of milk box when we play him. All I know is that daggone Chris Jones shows up against the San Francisco 49ers every time we play him. For me, it's Chris Jones. That's the guy you have to block, and you let him run free, and Brock ain't got no other alternative just to get that thing out of his hands or take that crunching, sobering, back-breaking hit. We just blew that one. We really, really blew that one, and that just can't happen. Not to say that Patrick Mahomes will go down and score and tie it up, but
we had him.
We had him. We had that.
He even after that block punt, the muff punt, whatever, we still had them. We went down the field, but there was just a couple decision makes. That sucks. Now I have the utmost confidence and I'm very proud of Purdy. Yeah, he might not have the biggest arm, but I think he can get it done. But you can't do it all on your own. No one really truly can.
No one can. No, you gotta have help. And all these people say, if I heard Sandra Sharp say, I tell you what, if you would have had so and so and you put him in that, and you took those players and moved them over on that side, and Skip Stephen A, listen to me, but he ain't all that. All you get, we vanquished 30 of them. There was 30 teams at home sitting, watching us go into overtime. The quarterback was first in every possible way you can be first in the National Football League statistically. The guy showed up in the playoffs, brought you back from, at first you said versus Green Bay. Well, he has never, ever, he can't come back. We don't know, Skip. We don't know if he can even come back. He came back then. And then he came back even more so against a very, very vaunted and good stepping up Detroit Lions in the championship game in the biggest moment. And he he can do what you ask the man to do. He only accepts $875,000 a year. Patrick Mahomes make that on every snap. Every snap, Patrick Mahomes is making $875.
I don't necessarily think the coin flip was the backbreaker, overtime not taking the ball at the end, because they could have went down and scored a touchdown and we would have been, really in problems, right? Then we have to go and score a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Our defense give it a good chance.
Our defense was pretty gassed too. It had just came off the field. Although it did give up, was it the field goal or touchdown? It gave up field goal, whatever at the end. And then you're asking him to go right back out and make a play. He would have chances are just marched down the field. But in a vacuum, it does change the math a bit when you know you've got that extra down in your pocket. You go ahead and concede and give them the ball, and then it would make your decisions better. Do I, on a 3rd and long, you could say, oh, I need y'all to go 10 yards. Say it's a 3rd and 8. I need y'all to get 9 yards. But if you know what they already got, if you know they ain't got but a field goal, you say, okay, this is what y'all can do. Go short because I got another down in my pocket. Everything is 4th down territory. Every decision is going to be 4th down. I know I got 4 downs to play with versus 3 and punt. So it would make sense to know those rules and plan around that. It would affect your play calling. It would affect your decisions a little bit. But you just was out there with Patrick Mahomes and he went down on the field, and the offense knows the plays. Kelsey's getting hot. It didn't really matter that much. It was going to play out how it played out, but to miss Chris Jones of all people on a blocking assignment down in the red zone
2 times in this game. It was when we called timeout and Brock Purdy, and we were driving the opposite way before overtime. We called timeout and they got us stopped on the 3rd down. Then we had to send Jake Moody out there for the field goal. That one was the turning point because we were driving the ball and we had them on the ropes, but there was something we didn't like the look of something, and we decided to call timeout. And then Brock Purdy went out there, and then the next play was that one we were talking about at the end. And you got it. This is the same thing that kind of happened to us in the championship game last year. We let somebody go free, unblocked. I mean,
their best player free, unblocked, and it was a Hassan Riddick last year in the championship game versus Philly. And he wasn't free. I'm correcting myself. He wasn't free. We used a backup tight end to try to trap him or something like that.
Well, it's the same concept. You didn't block up long enough.
You're right. Just get that guy blocked. If you don't get nobody else blocked, I'm sure Brock will say, just get 95 blocked. I'll come up with my Romo spin, and I'll do some super duper, which he can, but we're neither here nor there. Let me ask you this already, because the season never stops for the faithful. We've got to look towards the NFL draft. Do you have anybody that's on your mind right now that can help the San Francisco 49ers? What are their needs? Who do you like?
I don't have
for right now.
I don't have any names, and I will get some names here soon because I don't go into college too much. My family always told me, you can root for the 49ers, but you can't root for everybody. And I'm like, hey, that's not right. I like because I go too deep into stuff sometimes. So as far as right now, I think we need to invest in the line. We need a right tackle. We need a right guard. We might need a center. And then I think we need to get a linebacker. And last night, me and Ty and David were talking, and they said, well, we got some linebackers from last season. Well, then we need to start playing them. We need to start playing them. I'm done with the red shirts. Sure, we have red jerseys, but quit sitting these guys on the bench for a whole year. redshirting them. That's in college. If these guys aren't ready to play, then maybe we should be looking in a different direction, because we need to be filling holes that we need the guys to play right now. That's like why we drafted a kicker last year, because we needed a kicker. We didn't need a quarterback, we didn't need but let's get, I would say, let's look for the line. Let's develop the line for sure. And then from there, best player available, because it was really sad, really, really sad yesterday when we seen, the other day, Greenlaw go down. That was pretty big.
He's been battling that.
I love Callie's messing with me. No, Mitch Krasnowski, man, I was so proud of him. He did good. He really did good all season. There was one thing I want to tell you though, Pterodome, and I want to tell everybody. I am an emotional guy. I don't try to hide it, but I didn't know how I was going to react at the end of the game. Thought I was going to lose it there, but as the game started getting closer and closer to the end, I started getting more and more like this. We're probably going to lose this game. And then when they threw the touchdown, I was like, okay, it's over. I just kind of just accepted it. But at that moment, I kind of looked over to the couch and I seen my little girl, my baby girl. She's crying. And at that moment, I knew it doesn't matter how you feel right now. You need to go and cheer her up. And I did. Yes. I went over and I talked to her for a minute and she felt better. And I told her, hey, we're going to be back. Maybe not as soon as we want, but we'll be back. And when we get back, we're going to have a good game again. And, win or lose, we're still the 49ers. We're still the fans. And
we're still the faithful.
She understood that. And at that moment, I was like, hey, she knows what it means. Amen. She knows what it means. It doesn't mean pain, but it means, joy. It means it all, and if you can't experience them when they're at their lowest, you shouldn't be riding with us when we're at the top, right? It's
there. It is.
Root for them every day, not just when they're.
Dee's giving me the sign here. I think she had the clock. I'll end with this, Brian. Hey man, thank you so much for everything you've done, everything you do, being a real good friend, being concerned about me. We got things we talk about off air, man. And shout out to Corey Lockdown Davis and the beautiful and vivacious Miss Laura Hernandez. Y'all know her as Laura Cat. God bless you from heaven. And I'm just going to end it on up and try to get on, when your wife give you the clock thing, you got to get ready to go. I'm going to holler at you probably later on this week. You're going to have a couple of shows and we're going to work out how we're going to do this off season thing. And, hey man, love you from the bottom of my heart. Love Tony, love the kids, Pterodome, love the kids. And we will talk again soon, my brother. Thanks again. All right. There he goes. The great Brian Culp. And as I wrap this on up, the victory doesn't always go to the swift, a pause, Swifty, whatever, but that's biblical. It does say the victory not to the swift, the victory not to the strong, the victory not to the wise sometimes, but we fall down and we get up. I'll leave you with this poignant message, and I think Brock Purdy was he's been in 23rd Psalms all year, and it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. We're going through a valley. They call it, they reference in the Bible, calling it a Lodabar, which means down in the valley. I want y'all to remember something. A valley is nothing more than a low point between two high points. We've been high. We've been very, very high. We've been on the cusp. And right now, the depression and some would say the anger, and I've seen films, somebody threw a 40 bottle at a TV at somebody else's house. I can understand, and I sympathize, empathize, and otherwise realize. I know it's hurting, but it's a condition and just a place between two high points. There will be another high point. As far as the draft, I've identified exactly who I want. 49er minded. I've been looking at this thing for a few weeks because I have a tendency to look ahead and see where we need to be. And I'm a college football fan. There's a young man out of the University of Alabama playing right tackle. Y'all remember this name, J.C. Latham. He is projected to go around 16. I've done draft simulations, ran it over and over and over again, and somehow he goes around 16. We would have to move up because we're in the 31st spot to get him. I think it's well worth it. Y'all check his highlights out. You get back to me. And another thing I would like to address right now, I want a life-changing, game-changing flip the field around punt returner. I'm looking for that. That's where I want to put our money and invest it in the next draft. J.C. Latham and another punt returner. I'm talking a Devin Hester. I want a Westbrook. I want a Dante Hall. I want that guy. I want the San Francisco 49ers to be able to flip a field with just a special teams punt. I want that punt returner. If he can return kicks, great too, but I really want a special punt returner. He may be great at running routes. I don't care. I just want that punt returner. Will he be a running back? Will he be a wide receiver? I don't know, but we need a very special game-breaking punt returner. We'll police ourselves up, man. Go ahead and lick your wounds for a little while. We got to get over it. We got bombed out. We do what's called a battle damage assessment. We have the ARs. Everybody voice your opinions. You can come on here. I'll be still doing some shows. I might cut it back from 2 to 1 show, but a week. But and we'll do some different times and things of that nature. But y'all have been wonderful, and y'all have been faithful, and you've been Golden Domers, and you've been excellent, and you've been poised. You spend your time, your effort, your love, your money, your desire on the San Francisco 49ers. Me and Callie would like Stringer Bell and Avon Barksdale waiting on the police to raid us these past days, and I got film on different shows. I done been taping you folks talking mean about me, and I will come to your shows and explain some things. But know this, man, we're still the San Francisco 49ers, the premier organization in all of football, and we'll be back. Somehow we'll just police it up. Y'all go ahead and take your vacations. Get your mind off it. Watch some Netflix, watch some Amazon Prime, watch some Apple TV, and the NFL draft or the NFL Combine will be 29 February through 3 March this year. Start looking for ball players. We're going to reload the clip, and we're coming back. We're just coming back. So get through it and get on with it. And remember, man, you the faithful. We walk by faith and not by sight. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank y'all so much. God bless you.